I'm doing a lot of research, and I know you guys have prepared us a lot for the children issue, like this huge, dark, hidden thing that's now surfacing with all the child abuse, the human trafficking. Is this going to become way more mainstream versus a lot of us who have really gone over a lot of this information and it's just absolutely catastrophically horrendous? Is this going to be something that we get to a point where this is so mainstream that people really see things for what they really are and people for who really are? Because it's
dark. It's very dark.
Bad.
It's very dark, and you haven't even touched the deep, 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 dark
Which
yet.
is even worse.
It's very, very dark. Here's the problem. Large majority of people, even those who want to be woke-a-cola and go along with everything, it's too much for them. And generally, most parents are very protective of their children, as is your biology designed to be, especially mothers. And today, people want to be best friends with their children. They can't give them enough, and the children have more than any children have ever had before, and they are the most unhappy children out there because they have everything they want, and they're not told to work for it, or they don't have suppers together. They don't have, quote, enough of a grounded, traditional home life. Now, it's creepy, but it's promoted in the media as lies. So people are made to think that everybody else thinks it's okay, and I'm one of the few who finds it creepy. These are the reversals. Remember, when you are dealing with the Satanists, they, no matter where the source comes from, it's not Enki as Satan, but that's what they want to project. When you are dealing with Satans, the Satanist kind of practitioner, the cult, they reverse everything. Good is bad, bad is good. Woman is man, man is woman. War is peace, peace is... They reverse everything. And this, of course, has its roots in the last 150 years, more than that, in Marxism, in communism. That was Karl Marx, his claim to fame of working with the devil and being given these ideas that completely flip everything that creates a stabilized society. And today people can't recognize the roots in Marxism because they're not taught. They're taught to hate everything, hate their body, hate their country, hate, and to be victims. And then when you believe you are a victim and you've been marginalized, then that gives them the right to then go steal and destroy. Look how many cities in the United States are, they don't prosecute people for stealing anymore. Not at all, especially if it's under $1,000. But there's stories of people walking into big stores, big box stores, filling up carts and just rolling it out the door, and no one stops them because the police don't come. This, of course, is happening in the very major cities, but wherever the police have decided it's not safe for them to be, or the police force are diminished, or they are punished, you're going to have this kind of lawlessness, raw energy. Danae, you have 2 more years until things really change. Now, this is not going to be travesty and tumult everywhere. The larger the city, and the closer you are to a larger city, the more likely you will be caught up in all this. Use your intentionality. On some capacity, these dark forces want to normalize all of this abhorrent behavior, this deviant and perverse sexual behavior. They want, and sexual energy is the most powerful energy that you have to learn how to manage in your body. Yes, you have psychic energy, but most of you are not tapped into it. But the energy that all humans have, emotionality and sexuality, And these can lift you up or they can destroy you. Remember, sex needs love with it. Then you are in safe territory. But all the pedos say they have new things today. They're called, MAPs?
Minor attracted persons.
Minor attracted person, yes. They want to make excuses for this is natural. Babies have sex. Yes, you have sexual energy in you, but it is not appropriate, really, in your own welfare to cultivate sexual energy until you are in your mid to late teens, and even then you don't know what you're doing. But to attempt to bring sexuality to children, and prepubescent children, adolescents, they will never mature properly. And ask people who have been sexually abused, it all comes rolling back to them. They can't get past it. Yes, it's a big problem. It's going to grow bigger. Again, pornography is the number one most researched and most addicted thing on the internet. And so the things that are helping you expand are also the things that are destroying society. Protect your children. You don't have to be best friends with them. That comes when they're in their 30s and 40s. You are their steward. You are their rule maker. As Jody said, you can influence your children when they are with you, but when they are not with you, then the values that you instill in them ideally will ring true. And if they respect you, then they will want to emulate you. It's never ever been more challenging to be a parent than it is today.
I agree.
Yes, this is very, 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 very big one. And so use your intentions, put protection around your children. The mother has the power because the mother carried the child. So the mother can cloak the child in an aura, and the mother, sorry guys, but your little wiggly sperm there help out. We don't want to discount you. But the mother carrying the child, the bond is there, and she has psychic ability to know where and when and what's happening with the children. Activate it. This will become more pronounced, and it will pass. But Danae, what's going on behind the scenes, and that has been going on the scenes for decades, needs to come forward. And the people of Earth need to see how dark things are. And they were dark over and over again throughout the Anunnaki rule. The Anunnaki, some of them, set up civilizations where the worship was around the sacrifice of children. Whether it was Baal or Moloch, whether it was in the Aztec world in Mexico. Recently there was a big hullabaloo about Balenciaga. Yes, it is a fashion house. And it was pointed out that Balenciaga, Baal is Moloch, the god of old, who demands child sacrifice and blood and ripping out hearts and organs. And they're now a fashion group that the KKKs, the Kardashian kitty movers they're all part of it. That is why you have that breaking down and looking like a nutcase. He's breaking out of programming, and as soon as he breaks out of programming, someone attempts to put him back in, or he hits a wall, because when you would be highly programmed, if you break out of your program, there's going to be fail-safe programs that will come in that will discount what you say. And he may have 100 programs that will make him look bad, so that as he's attempting to break out and tell the truth, one of his screen memories or another alternative program will come in and make people dismiss him and say, get him out of here. But he's been under lock and key, and he's been drugged into oblivion to keep his mouth shut. There are controllers of all of these people. Sometimes they are their trainers, or they're the ones they work out with and do their exercises. Interesting, yes?
Yes.
Lot to learn, so much to learn. We don't want to cover dark stuff all the time, but you have to know it. And you have to know the good stuff too. And the good stuff is important. And speaking of good stuff, we bet that all these women in the room have got a lot of good recipes they're going to cook up over Christmas and express your creativity and your generosity and feeding others. And one of the best things you can do is share food with one another. Homemade food and the gifts of your own creation, your traditional recipes, your family heritage. No matter what your beliefs are, this is a nice time to celebrate. And so find some reasons to celebrate and protect your children. Do not indulge them. And learn to say no to them. No, this is not going to work. No, mommy doesn't have the money. We can't afford it. It's all right. And let them know. One of the biggest deficits that young people have today is they don't know math. They don't know how to read. And so if you want to control the people, make sure they don't know how to read, and then that's it. They'll never figure anything out. But young people today, they can't make change in the grocery store without punching it in the cash register. They're not fast. They're fast pushing devices. They're not fast upstairs. Their neural links have been reduced, and they're stuck unstuck. They're in a rut. They're in a neural rut. And so skills, chores, challenges, discussions, hugs, but not overindulging. Let your children know that you care for them and you support them. But do not fall to every one of their whims. You must produce people who are going to be functional, highly functional, outside the home circuit, and that will be able to live and live well. So this is a bit of advice for all of those out there all around the world with how to deal with their children, what to teach them. People write us. How shall I teach my children? Teach them to read. Teach them to make their bed. Teach them to cook. Teach them to manage money. Not just give it to them. Yes, you're in a big transition here, and it's inevitable that you are going to go into the Aquarian type of energy. Pluto in Aquarius can bring an upliftment for humankind, a connection for humanity, or it can bring in some areas what China is, total technological tyranny. All right, Danae, anything else?
No, that's all, Peace. Thank you so much.
All right, good. No little voices now. We want to hear good voices. Who's got a question?
Peace, this is Dorsey.
Dorsey, all right. Leo, loud and clear.
Yeah, I know you heard about Mattel's release of American Girl doll book urging young girls to take puberty blockers without parental consent.
Yes, American Doll is been a traditional sort of wave the flag American, and you get these dolls, and now they're changing, they're telling the kids to American Doll to, they're encouraging puberty blockers. Here's what happens when you are on puberty blockers, because many of those who wanted to change their sex, the women chopped their breasts off, took puberty blockers, and a few years later, 18 to 24, they're full of regrets. What are they regretting? Well, they have no breasts. Some of them do not have a menstruation cycle. They have no maturity. The body stops maturing with puberty blockers, and so their bones do not develop, the nervous system does not develop. In other words, medical fraud to a super extreme. Now, anyone who participates in this, it's a karmic thing. No one's forcing it, which people are volunteering for it because they are so confused. And if they had been part of any of the genetic experiments that went on for hundreds of thousands of years in East Africa, in Egypt, remember in Egypt, all the gods were part human and part animal. If you think that mutilating children is bad, next is going to come animal-human hybrids. We've talked about that. And then there's going to be sex with animals after sex with children. It's a decaying reality that has been on the planet before and that is surfacing and showing itself in these tricky times to, let's say, resolve issues that were left hanging. This is why people recreate and history recreates itself, that there's unresolved issues, that they've not been laid to rest, they are not peaceful. So this is not going away. It's going to have a very, very dark exposure, and you're going to have a period for a little while where there's going to be encouraged some really, really dark stuff and make it hip and cool among the young kids. Look at the tattoos. We've never, ever supported this whole tattoo movement. But you are looking at people covered in tattoos, many of them skulls and demonic faces. Walking advertisement for entity possession. Those people are not going to get cleaned off ever. They are carrying all manner of entities, and a lot of the very famous people, that they appear to be one thing, but they are another. This is all old Anunnaki Enki, genetic engineering, along with his sister Nin Hersog. And remember, the Anunnaki were very big on incestual sex. This is rising also on the planet. And of course, there's been many accusations in the Nacho camp about Hunter and Pedo Pete and the rest of them by their own relatives. So this is dark stuff. What will people do with it? Will they dissociate? Will someone come in to save the day? It's all sort of it's going to burst forward. It will be dealt with. We do see that goodness will prevail, but we see that there's a very, very, very rough road, and a lot of retaliation, because these are the forces, the dark forces that occupy the people, that do very, very dark, disturbing things. They're going to fight back. It's not like the dark forces that occupy someone that's a drug addict, that's taking methamphetamine, or that's on any of these very, very destructive drugs. When you are dealing with blood and children and sex and killing, trafficking, this is it must come forward. There's just no way about it. Who has a question?
Please, it's Hina again.
Yes.
Speaking about children and our own divine spark, could we put a shield around all the technology gadgets that they use, so perhaps only good or neutral things are absorbed by them? Could we put a shield over our TV?
Yes, you can. You can, but it'd be more effective to unplug the TV. If you are going to have one, keep it unplugged. And our vehicle used to tell people, and put a nice tablecloth or a pretty scarf. Well, today they have flat screens, so you can't do that. But unplug it and cover it over. It's long been known that the TVs can be used to spy on you, just like your computers, just like your cell phones. Your cell phones, friends, are never off. Yeah. So if you are having hot sex, someone's hearing about it. Getting loud there a little bit there. They're hearing about it. Yes, it's a song or something like that. Yes, is right. And if you're having an argument, if you are, whatever you are doing, your cell phone on or off is recording everything, and it's going into NSA files, National Security Agency files, and who is gobbling it up? not idiotic people. It's arti-intel, AI, arti-intel, artificial intelligence. That some believe that, some people believe that there's artificial intelligence that walks among you, that are so advanced robotically that you can't tell the difference. And every once in a while, if you look at Elon there, you're wondering, are you looking at a device or are you looking at a quirky human? And of course, it's long, long, long been the practice from time out of mind. Even in ancient times, a king would have a stand-in. He'd say, "Oh, I'm making love with the queen today. Have my stand-in go stand on the balcony and wave to everyone." All right, it's always been that way. The Ruskies were big on it. The Ruskies used to, we forget which one, but in the 60s and 70s, they'd pull people off the streets and that looked like them and do plastic surgeries. And some of them would have 3, 4, 5 doubles, duplicates. Today, the plastic surgery doubles, we said that Hillary, the last one she came out with is 666. That was her clone model. But you don't know what you are dealing with. Are you dealing with biological clones? Are you dealing with real artificial intelligence? Now, we went off on a tangent, and let's go back to what is your question here? What are you asking?
Whether we could put a shield.
A shield,
over
yes.
The
and that's why we
gadgets.
said unplug it. Of course, you can shield everything. And the more power you have, you can do it to animals, you can do it to your neighbors. Let's block them off and shield them, put them in a love bubble, so to speak, all right? A bit of a love bubble where they behave, where they're not making a lot of noise and the radio's quiet and they just wave to you, they're not doing anything funky. The power of your mind, you can shield all kinds of things. Play with it. That's the best thing we can say to you. Play with your creative abilities and have fun with it. All right?
Thank you.
Who else? Who has a question? Linda, we've not heard a peep out of you.
Oh, there's a lot of people that were new and had things to say.
All right. Did you want to ask something?
Yes, Linda Virgo.
Linda Virgo. All right. We're having a relief now from the Aquarians.
I've been pondering a lot the technology and the increase of technology without the increase of, let's say, our heart space has really caused a rift and I guess a repeat of history. I'm excited and also scared.
Yes.
The possibility of the human animal hybrid, which is where I see that you were saying we're possibly going. And I know that we're going there because there are already websites that are promoting this. You can get yourself a tail, you can get feathers, you can get fur, you want some ears, they can do that for you as well. And also, Dorsey had brought up a American, I think, Girl doll or something.
Yes.
I noticed that Barbie had, I will call them the sort of the human hybrid dolls, where it's the Barbie, but she has a costume that looks like a panther or a cat. And so she has an outfit on that's a furry that she can take off, but she also has like little ears and a little hat. So she's now, both kind of things. To me, this is definitely Atlantis and Egyptian kind of coming back.
There's no doubt about it. And remember, some of the people that are engaged in this would be deeply involved in cult. And they are instructed in the cult to do certain things and take cult activity that was secret for decades and to start to break it out into the public. And then, of course, children and other people, they love to mimic. Oh, so-and-so, I'm going to do that too. So it usually starts in some inner circle of cult and scientific and weird and Atlantean. Of course, is all Atlantean. And Atlantean, of course, goes back to Enki. And Enki was the one who basically set up Atlantis with a king and 5 sets of sons that were twins. Now, what is the odds of that? It's very, very strange. And it's going to get weirder and weirder and weirder, and you Aquarians are probably going to love it. Because you are. If there's anyone who can interpret weird and hang with weird and understand weird, it's the Aquarians. The Capricorns right next door, they're a little... this is outside of tradition here, but it's funny how you all play it out. So that's sad to hear, but on the internet today, and that's only the open internet, imagine what's on the dark net. Yes, this is part of... None of this would be happening without the technology. And the technology, we've long said, was given to you from extraterrestrials, because they want a depopulation agenda. It's not just the New World Order. The New World Order, the Klaus Schwabs, they are following orders. It's the Anunnaki who have a new plan for Earth, a new biological experiment, and perhaps they have advanced in what their intentions are, and they want to resurrect the animal-human hybrids, as they were all over Egypt, and reduce the useless eaters, as they've often been called, the sheeples. And then what's left, perhaps they believe they can control them, but the Anunnaki are delusional. They are completely delusional. They are caught up in their own darkness. So they have way more power than you. They have psychic abilities you can't imagine. They have technological abilities they can't imagine. But they are a mess. And anyone, whether they are gods or humans or animals, that are a mess, they end up destroying themselves. There's no beauty. There's no heart, as you said. There's no upliftment. And to reflect on what you said, suggested, Linda, you said there's not enough heart to go along with the technology. More than that, there's not enough neural capacity to process truth from falsehood, good from this is not a good idea. The nervous system of most people is back in the Stone Age when you give them a device. That's how big the gap is. So it's something that people will be writing about for a long time in history. Does it have a long shelf life? No, it does not. But all these experimentations are a sign that, big sign that you are at the end of something, whether the Christians want to call it the end days or not, you're at the end of something. And many things need to be exposed so that as you start something new, you know what you are dealing with.